All right, we're good.
Good evening, and I'd like to call to order the District 28 Board meeting, July 2nd, 2025 at 7:01 p.m. Please call the roll. Member Bonsalter? Here. Member Horowitz? Here. Member Weinstock? Here. Member Baser? Here. Member Arns? Here. President Silverchat? Here. And absent today, please stand for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. We're going to start with visitor comments. Are there any comments from our visitors today? The microphone is for the recording, and your voice will not be amplified.
Hi, my name is Andy Warren, with my wife Karen. And we live right behind the school, 1729 Marcy Lane. And we're just curious if the plans are moving forward with the gymnasium. I know we've talked about a lot of trees trying to be preserved, especially old trees. I don't know if it's been decided on, if those big ones are coming out prior to the project. I know during construction, sometimes about damage to the trees and then have to remove them. If that could be clarified, that'd be great. And if they do have to come out, I know the plan was to put in like 6-foot trees. And so we were hoping, because the neighbors actually sit about 3 to 5 feet higher than the Meadowbrook field line, those 6-foot trees may only be about 3-footers when you kind of do the math. So it may not provide an adequate screening for the first handful of years to kind of provide a little, I guess, privacy and just screening. I know there's been some compensation with the color scheme, going to like green and navy paneling, I guess, versus all the different colors that were originally talked about. Still kind of pushing for maybe at least that northern side, back side, to not have any of that, just so that the neighbors don't have to view. I don't think many students, let alone other just community members, will see much of that being on the side that's got a very minimal buffering to the property line. And then the last thing was just, I think neighbors in the community, especially that border the property, are wondering if and when there's going to be another opportunity just to hear an update on, collaboration, just maybe an update on just letting the neighbors know what's going on and this construction plans. So, thank you.
Thank you very much. I just want to write all this down so we can get back to you. Okay, great, thank you. Any other comments? Okay. Hearing none, moving on to the superintendent's report.
Great, thank you so much. Yes, I do have a little bit of information to share about construction. Although since our last meeting, we've had holidays. And so between the architects and the district, there's only been a couple of meetings that have happened. We have had another meeting with the architects about Meadowbrook, the design of the building, the full school. And they're putting together information to bring to Buildings and Grounds, which hopefully we will have in the next month, couple of weeks before the next board meeting. We'll have a Buildings and Grounds Committee meeting for you to hear some preliminary information from the architects on Meadowbrook. They also are putting together information about the other 3 projects that will be presented also to building. We have a meeting this week with them about that, and then we'll be bringing that information to Buildings and Grounds as well. So hopefully at our next board meeting, we'll have some more information to look at kind of where we are at the progress with those projects. As far as the gym project is concerned, we do plan to break ground in the middle of August. They are doing preliminary work on the site already, running the water lines through the building, some things that need to be done for the gym. So that's being done now. And then, of course, once we get the information from the final clearance from the Metropolitan Water Reclamation District, whatever that is, we'll be able to do the work as far as the groundwork is concerned. So that's where we are with that. We do plan to continue to provide the community with updates as we have the opportunity to do so. Samantha is our new Director of Communications, and so in the past you heard from Terry. She's going to help us with that, and we'll be getting information to you as soon as we're able to share it with the board. We'll share it with the community as well. So thank you for that request. So that's all on the construction update at this time. And that actually completes the superintendent's report.
Oh, okay. Moving on to approval of minutes, which is an action item. Do we have a motion to approve the minutes from the regular meeting for June 24th, 2025?
So moved.
Second.
Great. Member Baser?
Aye.
Member Arms?
Aye.
Member Fonzelter? Aye. Member Horowitz?
Aye.
Member Weinstock?
Abstain.
And President Silvershack.
Aye. Moving on to the consent agenda. Is there anything anyone would like to pull out of the consent agenda? All right, hearing none, we will, is there a motion to approve the consent agenda?
So moved.
Second.
Okay. Member Arms?
Aye.
Member Baser?
Aye.
Member Fonzelter?
Aye.
Member Beeftank? Oh, no, she's absent, excuse me. Member Horowitz?
Aye.
Member Weinstock?
Aye.
And President Silvershack.
Aye. Moving on to staff and committee reports. Finance, back to Jessica, please.
Yes, so in your packet was the finance report for the month ended June. These are unaudited amounts, but unaudited, and we are looking at the variance of, hold on one second, I had it open and now it closed. 98% of our budgeted expenditures were expended and 95% of our revenues received. So kind of a light on the finance packet this itself because of all of the other things we do for this meeting.
Mm-hmm. Do we vote on these separately? These three?
Yes.
That's what I thought. Okay. All right. Is there a motion to approve the finance report?
Do I have to comment about the bills?
Yes, thank you. Who had the bills?
I had the bills.
You
and
had the bills.
The
Thank
bills
you.
were fine.
The bills were fine. Thank you for that comment. Fantastic.
Comprehensive.
Okay. Moving on, is there a motion to approve the finance report?
So moved.
Second.
Member Weinstock?
Aye.
Member Arms?
Aye.
Member Fonzelter? Aye. Member Horowitz?
Aye.
Member Baser?
Aye.
And President Silvershack.
Aye. Adoption of tentative budget.
So we just went through the tentative budget in detail. Again, my door is open if you have any questions about that. The tentative budget will continue to monitor local, state, and federal changes, and as well as our own enrollment and other things that may come up between now and the final approval of the budget.
So adopting it now means that it's posted and you're able to like operate under it until September 30th.
Mhm.
Okay.
But it will continue. I had a slight change already today. Like it'll continue to evolve up until that you get the next version of
Mhm.
it. Yep.
Good question. Any other questions? All right, is there a motion to adopt the tentative budget?
So moved.
Second.
Member Baser?
Yes. Aye.
Member Arms?
Aye.
Member Fonzelter?
Aye.
Member Horowitz?
Aye.
Member Weinstock?
Aye.
And President Silvershack.
Aye. Phone system support and maintenance contract.
So this is our annual renewal for our phone system. We work with B&B Networks to manage our Mitel voicemail system and voice over IP phone system throughout the district. It does include support as well as software licenses for the equipment we have.
Are there any questions, comments? Okay, is there a motion to approve the phone system support and maintenance contract?
Second.
Member Fonzelter? Aye. Member Weinstock?
Aye.
Member Baser?
Aye.
Member Arms?
Aye.
Member Horowitz?
Aye.
And President Silvershack.
Aye. Continuing on with more committee reports, Human Resources, Edward.
I'll just mention quickly, we have 24 vacancies as of today, 15 of which are instructional assistant positions. Our elementary principals are collaborating on interviews and trying to improve our candidate pool, and so that's in progress, and just wanted to mention that to you. That's all.
And I know I've asked you this, I usually ask you this, is this typical at this time of year?
Yes.
Yes, okay.
Yes, and we also have received just a couple recent resignations, so it's, we're
Mhm.
having to start that process for those positions when we just get them
Mhm.
as well.
Okay, great, thank you.
You're welcome.
Student Services.
No report this evening.
All right, thank you. Teaching and Learning.
No report this month.
Making it easy, okay.
You guys in a race?
Yeah. Buildings and Grounds.
I do have just a slight update on
Please.
the other construction projects that were approved in the winter and spring that are underway. Roofing projects here at the junior high, they're going okay. We lost a few days because of the weather or the rain, but they do anticipate being able to make that up. Our HVAC, the air handling units and the RTUs, we have all the equipment. They're currently connecting all the utilities to that. That seems to be good and a little bit ahead of schedule. The Westmore bus lane was on the slate to be redone. They're breaking ground on that project. Should break ground tomorrow, right in the heat, to go break up that asphalt over there. The Greenbrier paver project looks to start that week of August 4th and should just take a week. Again, we lost a little bit of time there, but we'll still be done in plenty of time before our staff starts returning. Our big project, our BAS controls, is on schedule. It is rewiring all of the little units in the junior high as well as the software overall that controls all 4 sites. So that is on schedule and going well. And the RPZ, the backflows for the chemicals that the custodians use for mixing and cleaning, that should be done this week, and that just requires a report out to the village that we completed that project. So those were the kind of the bigger items that were previously approved that are underway this summer.
Great, thank you. Any further questions for Jessica? All right. Legislation, that is Chris, who is not here today. I imagine it's light as we are in the summer session anyway, so we'll hear from her next month. Policy. Who is Edward, are you presenting that?
Sure.
Okay.
Just in your packet, all the policies that the policy committee recently reviewed are being presented for final reading and adoption this evening. And then just a quick note for the policy committee, we will be scheduling another meeting in the coming weeks as there was yet another issue that the IASB has made available for us to review. And so tonight's action is just the motion and second for adoption of the policies as presented. Thank you.
Are there any questions about the policies? All right, hearing none. Is there a motion to, do I have to read each one of them? No. Okay. Is there a motion to approve the updates?
So moved.
Hold on, I think I have to say, I think I have to say the whole thing. Is there a motion to approve the policies as presented?
So moved.
Second.
Great.
Member Horowitz?
Aye.
Member Baser?
Aye.
Member Arms?
Abstain.
Member Fonzelter? Aye. Member Weinstock?
Aye.
And President Silvershack.
Aye. Okay, thank you. Moving on to communications. First of all, welcome to your first meeting with us, Samantha. Happy to have you here.
I do have a quick little update. Most of you probably have seen this. Our biannual mailer was
Is her mic on? Does
hit
she know?
mailboxes in early July, so it had a lot of good information about graduation and our strategic plan and the referendum. And if you need some extra copies or anything, we do have a bunch here at the office. Just let me know. And that's about it. I'm happy to be here at my first meeting.
Great, thank you. We start off pretty light in the summer, so
It's a good meeting.
that's good. Yeah, yeah. Thank you. Okay. Let's see. True North. Adam, take it away.
Did you want
Or
I just
Dr.
want to mention,
Pearson.
we do have on the agenda after the update, a request from District 27 to withdraw, so we'll be approving that resolution tonight as well. But there has been a lot going on, so.
There has been a lot
Yep.
going on for True North. You may recall that, that our district, like just about every other, or I think every other member district, filed a notice to sort of keep open their options to withdraw from the collective. The takeaway from that is a essential agreement among all the member districts that, the current governance model of True North needs to be modified in order for it to be sustainable longer term. At the most recent meeting, we also approved a change to the True North bylaws that for the withdrawal process allows our district and the other member districts to not have to expend resources on a third-party evaluation as part of that process, to be more efficient. The other update is that the superintendent of True North put in his notice and has left for another opportunity. Andy Piper, the head of HR for True North, has been named the acting superintendent for the True North, and there's a search ongoing for an interim superintendent, with the idea being that it makes more sense to hire someone on an interim basis while it's sorting through kind of what long-term governance looks like. So there's that search is ongoing, and the hope is that an interim is identified and named before the start of the school year. The leadership at True North is also, taken great pains to make sure everyone knows that, in its current form, they're doing fine. They're able to provide all the services they need to, even if there is still some uncertainty about the leadership going into the next year.
Yeah, I think I would just emphasize, the restructuring of True North is something that's been coming for a long time, although it kind of came to a point in the last few months as people started to realize just, as the co-op has changed and people have pulled back more and more services, which is actually the goal. The goal is that students are able to be served in their home districts as much as possible. And so as we've worked through that, and over the last decade or so, as districts have been able to provide more services in-house in their districts, the cost for districts has gone up. Their membership costs in True North has continued to go up. So that kind of brought the issue to a point, and is why we've seen so many districts want to leave. I think just a couple of pieces that we want to keep at the forefront as we have this conversation. One is that we are going to continue to provide services to students and families that need those services, whether it be through True North programs or other programs that we work with to provide services. I think it's also important that people realize that for this coming school year, True North is status quo. All of the decisions about staffing and programs and placement for a school year are made in around December, January. So we made a commitment back in December for what we would be accessing with True North this year. And then they plan based on member districts' interests and needs. And so this year's button has already been pushed, and we're going full steam ahead. So there won't be any changes to programs and services this year. The changes that will be coming in subsequent years, and we're going to be using the next few months to plan what that looks like. The Leadership Council of True North will be receiving a report at the August 22nd board meeting, which will share with them kind of what the task force that's been working on this, what they think might be a plan for the next steps in the process. And once they're able to see that report, we'll be able to bring some more information back to you. I think at the in the end, the outcome will be a better organizational structure that meets the needs of districts and potentially could also be, from a fiscal standpoint, be less expensive for members to participate in whatever programs and services remain with True North going forward. So I just wanted to hit those talking points because as this continues to happen, we want to make sure that people know that those things are in place.
Thank you. So, moving on then, we do have an action item, the resolution for the proposed withdrawal of District 27 from the True North Cooperative 804. And this we've done before with other districts, so this is the same sort of thing, giving them the option to explore as we intend to do as well in the future. Are there any questions about that? All right, is there a motion to approve the resolution for the proposed withdrawal of District 27 from True North?
So moved.
Second.
Member Weinstock?
Aye.
Member Arms?
Aye.
Member Fonzelter?
Aye.
Member Horowitz?
Aye.
Member Baser?
Aye.
And President Silvershack.
Aye. All right, moving on to new business. Is there any new business? Okay, hearing none. We are going to adjourn. It is 7:23. And is there a motion to adjourn the meeting?
So moved.
All right.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? All right, so now it is, we'll say it's 7:24 and the meeting is adjourned. Thank you.